Good morning! Today is the 17th of December, and it is your third day in person. You have one notes today, and you have your quiz. I'm going to go over your warm-up, your homework, your quiz prep. It does say questions for the quiz, so if you are struggling and you want to send me an email, I should be available. I decided to just go over every single question on the quiz prep just to show you. Oh crap, it says see you Friday. I'm sorry about that. I revised it from the buzz and then I forget. I won't see you Friday, but I will see you Wednesday if you can come into school if you're not, away for anything. But yeah, Wednesday is our day, our one day together before you leave for Christmas break. And let's get it. So here was the warm up. 6-7, you start with combining like terms. Remember, a like term contains the same variable and also exponent. So you will notice that I combine 2x and negative 9x and negative x. Remember, it's all about the coefficient. So 2 minus 9 is going to be negative 7. And then another negative 1 would make it negative 8x. From there, you're going to combine the y's. So you have a negative 4y and a positive 10y, which will make positive 6y. If you do not remember how to do this with the DSD and SSS, you can just type this in your calculator. So for the x example, 2 minus 9 minus 1 is going to get you negative 8 in the calculator. You can make this a whole lot easier for yourself if you need to. All right, so that's the first one, negative 8x plus 6y. From there, you are going to combine the mn term. So you have a 6mn and a negative 2mn. Together, they make positive 4mn. Again, in the calculator, 6 minus 2 is 4. And then finally, the 5n stands alone. It doesn't go with anything, so it's just plus 5n. So that's what you should have gotten for the first two. The next part of the warm-up was supposed to be fun. I don't know if it frustrated you or not. We will talk about this when I come back on Wednesday in person. I'm interested to see what you guys did with it. On to the homework. You had 6-6 combining like terms. So check out the table. You had to identify the number of terms, whether it was a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. Remember, mono is 1. They say mono versus mono, 1 versus 1. Mono, I guess. Trinomial is 3, a tricycle, and then a binomial is 2. Think of a bicycle, 2 wheels, just like for trinomial, 3 wheels. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable. Oh, someone's at the door. So it's the number in front of the variable. So in this case, that first one would be 8. And then so on and so forth for the rest of them. And then the constants are the number that stands alone without a variable. So in that first one, there are none. And then as you look to the other ones, there are some. So check your work. If it's not making sense, please let me know or try to talk to a peer or your substitute. On to the next part, you had to identify yes or no. Are they like terms? So go through number 2. It was yes, they both have that v variable term. Number 3, despite both having 10, it's really about the variable. So x and y, they're not the same variables. That's not like terms. For number 4, despite both of them being a, it's a squared and just a to the first. So those are different exponents. They're not like terms. For number 5, you had x's. They are like terms, despite that one is, just a regular 7, and then you have a fraction. It doesn't matter since they both have that x variable term. They're like terms. And then finally, the last one was yes as well. They both have xy, so they are like terms. On to the next part. You are doing what we just did on the warm-up. So you're combining your like terms. Remember, it must have the same variable and exponent to be like terms. So check your work with mine. And if you are not feeling confident about your SSS or DSD, just use the calculator, okay? Number 10, it's below that negative 18w plus 4. All right, so there are the answers to that. For 13 through 18, notice that for the y, there I had put y and I also put 1y because it is 1. Now, as mathematicians, we like to go towards that y, just the regular y, but if you are more comfortable saying 1y, that's okay for now. I would just try to get into the habit of, it's just a y, it's 1y. We just don't usually write that 1. All right. From there, I'm going to show you the quiz prep. Okay, so this was your quiz prep. It was starting with the distributive property, so you had to multiply 3 times both your terms inside the parentheses. So 3 times 2x is 6x, 3 times 5 is 15, and then so on and so forth. The thing you really need to be careful with here is your negative symbols. So a negative 8 times x is negative 8x, and negative 8 times 4 is negative 32. You can type a negative in the calculator. So if you are struggling with the whole negatives, use the calculator. The one I want to point out to you right here, you have a negative 4 times x, negative 4x, but then a negative 4 times a negative 4 is a positive 16. Remember, negative times a negative makes a positive, so be careful of that. All right, if there's any of these that don't make sense, again, please talk to a peer, your substitute, or send me an email. On to the factoring. This is the ladder method. And then once you do the ladder method, you want to check with the distributive property. I got a little messy on the bottom there. So you're taking out the GCF, the greatest common factor. What number goes into both of these terms? What's the biggest thing you can take out? It is 8. If you chose to separate it as far as like taking out 2 and then taking out 4, that's okay. That works. You're looking at, does your answer match my answer? So you should have had 8 and then in parentheses x plus 3y. Notice when you look in the parentheses, they no longer have any common factors. Okay, it should be in simplest form. So same concept going forward. For this next one, you could take out 5 and you had 3x minus 4y. That final one, you could take out the number 2, but you could also take out the variable x. If you chose to do them separately, that's fine, but you had to take out both of them. If you only take out one, it is not correct. You need to take out the greatest common factor, which is 2x. All right? I highly recommend that you check, because sometimes we take out the right greatest common factor, but then we don't divide it properly. And when you check, you're going to see it doesn't match, so you did something wrong. Especially when you're taking a quiz or a test. I know checking adds extra work, but it's worth it. You want to get it right. All right. And then that final part, the perimeter of the square. If you have perimeter and you want to find a length, you divide by 4 because there's 4 equal sides. 16x divided by 4, you're going to get 4x. And then you have a negative 4 divided by 4, it's negative 1. Same concept with area. Area is length times width. If you're given the area and the length, you're going to divide to get the width. So 20x divided by 2 is 10x. And then 12 divided by 2 is 6. All right. And then the last thing I want to go over is that exit ticket. All right, so here's my work written out. Be careful. So with the distributed property, the majority of you guys got this right, so nice job. Remember, it's negative 7 times both terms. So negative 7 times 3x is negative 21x. And then remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. A lot of people got that part wrong. So negative 7 times negative 5 is positive 35. All right. And then finally, the factoring problem, again, you can break this up. If you wanted to take out 3 and then another 3, you could have done that. I chose to just take out 9, which is the greatest common factor. So 9 as your GCF, and then taking that out, dividing it. 18x divided by 9, you're going to get 2x. And then negative 63y divided by 9, you're going to get negative 7y. This is your answer. Be careful, because a lot of you guys got that GCF, but you didn't have the right terms inside of the parentheses. And when you go to check, you're going to see, oh, it doesn't match. I did something wrong. So make sure you're checking. This is all of the work. So at this point, if you look at your schedule here, we went over the warm-up, we went over the homework, I went over all the quiz prep. You have an option here. Your two things are, you have the notes, just one lesson, and you have the quiz. If you want to take the quiz first, just get it out of the way, you can. This lesson is not on the quiz. Or if you'd rather, like, get into the flow of math, do the notes, and then do the quiz, you can do that. It is up to you. Hopefully you guys have headphones so you can make your choice and choose accordingly. Then you have a homework assignment. If you don't finish the quiz in class, please get it done for homework tonight. You're going to be given a paper. Remember, though, you have to put it on the Google Classroom in that Google form. If you have any questions, please email me. I will not see you Friday, but I hope to see you on Wednesday. Miss you guys a lot. You are remote tomorrow, so it'll be like a typical remote day. And go rock that quiz. You got this. I'll hopefully see you soon. Take care, guys.